What's up, everybody? It is Matt Modi with OddsJam, and for this video, I'm just going to be doing a preview of Game 2 between the Warriors and Mavericks tonight. So I was scanning the positive EV page, and there's only 4 player props available. None of them were fit the criteria of being an outlier. So instead of continuing my awful cold streak of betting player props, yesterday was no different. Was down was 0 for 3 yesterday, down all of the 185 bets, which puts my total loss at $660 in the past roughly 7 days, which is awful. Really not fun. So instead of taking bets that might not necessarily be profitable bets to make on a normal stretch of variance like these 4, instead I'm just going to do a preview of the game itself, see if there are any player props that might pop up in the meantime, lock those in. I'm still going to track everything on this sheet. Like, I have an NBA specific one. This is just going to be for game props. So player props will still be tracked here. And then everything is tracked total on this spreadsheet here. Still up overall with everything that's tracked. A lot of them has to do with the team mat competition that we kind of stopped doing. Up on the MLB as well, although this bet lost, so not up as much. Still up $220, which isn't bad. But anyways, for this video, for this game, I'm going to be looking at Warriors versus Mavericks. So obviously, game 1, Warriors kind of dominated. The Mavericks offense just looked clunky. Luka was a game worse, minus 30 in terms of plus-minus point differential, which has got to be one of the worst in his career, probably for the playoffs, I would imagine. They did have some pretty bad games against the Suns, especially obviously the first 2 games, but nothing as bad as I can remember. Luka, like I said, rough game. The scary part for the Mavericks is that the Warriors didn't really shoot that well. They shot 10 of 28 from 3, so they didn't really attempt that many, but only making 10 is kind of rare for the Warriors. Of course, the Warriors have had pretty slow shooting days so far in these playoffs randomly. I mean, they had a couple games against the Grizzlies where they just didn't even show up. So normally the Warriors, you think of them as a hot shooting team, but they've kind of been hit or miss in the playoffs recently. Of course, they're still pretty massive favorites here. Minus 235 according to the OddsJam Perfect Line, which is pulled from the sharpest bookmaker in the world. The Mavericks are plus 207, so there actually is a little bit of value if you get the Mavericks at plus 220 on MGM PointsBet and WinBet. One thing I like doing for numbers that are this high is to look at the VIG percentage. So this is a calculator that you can get for free on OddsJam. It just calculates how much juice what the hold on the market is. So all you need to do to calculate the percent is just enter in both sides of the line. Plus 207, minus 235. So plus 207, minus 235. A VIG percentage of only less than 3%, which is actually really good. Most of my mixed slams that are 15 cents or below also have a VIG percentage of 3% and below, which again, that's really good. So now if we remove the no VIG fair odds calculator, if we go to the no VIG fair odds calculator, we can remove the VIG and find out what the true line of the money line is. So again, it's plus 207 minus 235, puts the true line of this at about plus 215. So getting the Mavericks at plus 220 is actually a positive expected value bet. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in on BetMGM. The Warriors, they went up 2-0 against the Nuggets in round 1, but they really haven't played consistent basketball at all this postseason. It's almost like they like to play with their food. So I actually really like getting getting the Mavericks money line at this spot. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this in for $50. Place bet, good to go. Now I just need to add this to my bet tracker. This bet tracker that you see here is something that OddsJam offers for completely free. It's a really helpful tool. It obviously, as it sounds, it tracks all your bets. It shows you all of your betting information in this home screen here. If you go to your dashboard, as you can see, I have just been getting absolutely hammered this week. So far, if it holds, will be my worst week since using OddsJam, which is unsurprising because, as you saw with my player props, just been getting absolutely roasted. Hopefully, I can pick things up and at least get back to over 12K in total profit. But regardless, all this information comes from the OddsJam bet tracker. Another thing that I really like about it, this pending bets you see here, it auto grades your bets for you. So for me, I'm locking in a lot of positive EV bets as the day goes on. So it's nice having them get auto graded for me, so I don't need to go in and manually do that. But back to the play. So I ended up going with the Mavericks money line at plus 220. If you go to the spread, obviously it wouldn't make sense to take the Warrior spread, but if we just see how everything is shaken out here, there is some value on the Mavericks spread at plus 6.5. Of course, the VIG here is going to be incredibly low, minus 115, plus 104. So if we go back to the VIG calculator, minus 115, plus 104, only 2.51%, which is less than the money line bet that we placed at 2.71%. If we remove the VIG, I don't think it'll be a positive expected value play, but let's see. So it was minus 115 plus 104, puts the true line of this at about minus 109. And if you go to the market here, it's at minus 110. So not really a positive expected value bet here. So while I do think the Mavericks cover, I do like this bet at plus 6.5. I am going to lock it in, but I'm not going to put as much on it. So I don't want to totally mix slam it. I do want to make sure that if they cover but lose, I'll end up profitable. So I'm going to put 75 on the Mavericks plus 6.5. Place bet. Good to go there. So again, let me just add this to my bet tracker. My guess, knowing where the money is going and how the Mavericks seem to be valued here, I would venture to say that this will end up beating the closing line. So while it's not plus EV right now, I would guess that it will be before the tip off tonight. But my favorite bet of the night, if we go to the total, is on the under here. So the under right now, I can most books price it at 213.5 or 214. Pretty much 214 with the pretty much all about, they all have it at 214. 213.5, not as much. MGM, of course, I'm over indexing. MGM has this at 214.5. So getting it at a full point higher than what every other book has and taking the under is a pretty valuable bet. I also just like it for basketball reasons. The Warriors offense gets stuck in quicksand. It's kind of interesting. The Mavericks have actually been more of a defensive team, and then their offense is kind of just like, Luka, go do something. So game one went under. I love this game to also go under. So this is going to be my McSlam, is the under 214.5 in this game. So interestingly, taking all bets on BetMGM. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this in for my McSlam amount, 125. That's my third bet. That's my favorite bet of this game. All will be added to this NBA sheet at the very end, but I did want to look into these player props to see if anything changed, so I can still bet some player props. So let me refresh this page. And let's see. So Draymond Green rebounds, I do like just from a basketball perspective. He had 9 in game 1, so he barely went over this amount. He had 15 in the last game against the Grizzlies. And a game that goes under, I think, is going to have a lot of missed shots. Draymond Green loves to get rebounds, loves to push the pace, which is a really good source of offense for the Warriors. So let's see if there's any value here. So the OddsJam line has it at minus 126. The other side of it is at minus 105. Every other book seems to have it around even money, which to me shows that this isn't necessarily a true outlier amongst all of the other sports books. So this one I will take, but I'm not going to mix slam it. I'm just going to put a little bit less on it. I'm going to put $50. Draymond Green to go over 8.5 rebounds. Go ahead and place bet here. Good to go. So now let me just add this one to my bet tracker. Draymond Green, $50. Another one that I wanted to look at was Kevon Looney, his under rebounds. It kind of makes sense. If Draymond goes over, someone's going to have to go under most likely. Looney has been an interesting case study for the Warriors. So he went under this total in game 1, but the last game against the Grizzlies, he had 22 rebounds, 22, which is a lot. His playing time has kind of fluctuated. When the Warriors really need to win and they want to go small, obviously they end up not putting him in the lineup. But the scary part is with the way the Mavericks play offense, they might not be big enough without Looney. So let me look into the markets here, see if there's any value before deciding to make a play. So the OddsJam line has it at minus 113. Every other book has it at even money except for FanDuel, which has it closer to the points bet line. So again, not a huge value here. So I will take this one. I'll just put a little bit less on it. I'll put 45 on it instead of the 50 that I put on Draymond Green, if PointsBet actually lets me take it, because they tend to lock plays. No, this is available. So Kevon Looney under 7.5 rebounds. I'll put 45 on this one, so that way if it wins and Draymond loses, I'm pretty much breaking even. But if Draymond wins and this one loses, I will have profited. So place bet. Actually, the odds, no, we're good. So place bet. Let's see if it actually lets me take it. PointsBet has limited me in the past, but nope, this one's good. This one let me take it. So let me just add this to my bet tracker. So that's a total of 5 bets for this game, which probably sounds counterintuitive when you're having an off day just to load 5 bets, but I'm just trying to break out of the slump the best I can. So I got the Mavericks money line, the Mavericks spread, the under, Draymond Green over 8.5 rebounds, Kevon Looney under 7.5 rebounds, and let me add these all to the sheet, and then I'll go ahead and get on out of here. All right, and now everything is added to the spreadsheet. So this is new that I'm tracking all my individual NBA plays, which I wish I had done earlier because I was awesome in the first 2 rounds, now getting hammered. But in the Warriors Mavericks game tonight, I have a total of 250. Like I said, Mavs money line, the Mavs spread in this game going under. For my player props, I have 2 plays, both rebound props, Draymond going over, plus 100 on MGM, Looney going under, plus 110 on PointsBet, and that's all I got for you. So if you're tailing these bets, I would love to hear it. You can hit me up at my Twitter handle you see on the screen here. You can also comment on the video, let me know you're tailing that way. Other than that, would appreciate if you could like the video and subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, but that's all I got for you. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.